Wow. It has been a while. It has been a hot minute, and we are back. It says the lounge, but we really don't know if we're going to keep it at the lounge because the lounge was the last 3 years in the pandemic. We were doing the lounge, right? But now we have our new community momentum all about driving purpose and dreams and stepping into those big dreams and goals. So I was thinking, hey, maybe we could rebrand to Momentum with Marisa, the podcast. Tell me what you think in the comments. And we can see your comments whether you're on Facebook, YouTube, or in our new school community, and we'll be able to interact with you live today. We took a little break, and I'd love to hear what you think about our rebrand. And if you can give us a really cool name, you win a prize. So, used to be the Lounge with Marisa. Now it's Momentum with Marisa. This could be Momentum, the podcast, or maybe the Dream Lab. What do you guys think? Should we just keep it slick and clean, or should we make it a little bit interesting? So today, I cannot wait to introduce you to my good friend, Jim Fullan, who has been a friend for quite a long time. He actually came to one of my live events many years ago. We became friends. He actually, in the event, took over the whole event, and the event became all about him and his session with me. So people weren't too happy with Jim back in the day. After that, Jim ended up being a good friend, and he started actually coming to all the shows and opening the shows for me and being in the shows. So I used to send out newsletters, right? That said, oh, Jim's going to be opening the show, come to the show. And we were selling out our shows at one point. And Jim texted me and he's like, I know your shows are selling out because of me. I'm like, Jim, I know. And he was serious. Like he was dead serious. Like he was doing the intros. He thought my shows were selling out because of him. And so we gave him the nickname Humble Jim. That stuck with him. And right now he's not too humble, or maybe he is, because he just made national news this year for defying the odds and being the first male at, I don't know, he's telling me he's older when he did it, but I thought he was 55 when he started this process. He's 57 now. He defied the odds, and he retired from the post office after like 30 some years. Maybe it's more. Jim will correct me if I'm wrong. And he gave me a call, and he's like, I have this crazy idea, and everybody's laughing at me, thinks that it won't work. And I'm like, let's do it. Let's do it. Let's go. Because anytime you bring me something impossible, we're going to make it possible. We did a little intuitive look into the cosmos, and I'm like, might want to look at these two schools. And lo and behold, Jim achieved his dream of playing college baseball at 57 years old. Okay. Not even joking. Went on a tour on national television, all over the news. And today was his last game. So I am so excited for Jim to come on here and say hello and tell you his story. Matthew Magda, I mean, you're another professional football guy. So thanks for coming on. I'm sure you would love this story. And Michael Ruff, great to see you from Boston. All right, Jim, welcome to the stage. Oh, I love how you have the Humble Jim logo. Wonderful.
Hey,
Wonderful.
Thanks for having me.
So show us your shirt. Show us your shirt, like what's going on there. Okay. And that's from your practice today, right?
Yeah, today was our last practice. We still have 5 games to go.
Okay. And I just went and saw your game this weekend, and it was amazing. And you guys did not win this weekend, but you are planning to really take it home for the rest of the games.
Yes. Hopefully we can get a couple more wins before the season ends.
Awesome. Well, I'm going to just show, just to pump you up a little bit more and make you a little less humble. I'm going to show some pictures from your national news station appearances. So just to give you guys, this is no joke. Look, there he is. He is in the uniform. He's got his ball. He's in the stadium. He proved them wrong. Here he is on NBC News game day with his baseball card. And yeah, he's a grandfather too. That's his daughter, and he's got grandkids. Lots of them, right, Jim?
Yes,
you have lots of grandkids.
9 of them. 9 grandkids.
9 grandkids. And you're out there with, see, I didn't do that. It must have been a spirit. 9 grandkids. You're playing with people that are your kids' ages on the team.
Oh no, they're a third of my age. They're half my kids' ages.
Oh my goodness. All right. And so I remember asking you this, like when you first started, like, are you treated differently? Do they make fun of you because, like, they think, like, but you're like, sometimes they think that you're not even a player, and then you said, like, at first it was a little strange, but now they all, like, rally around you, and they, like, you are, like, a national treasure.
Yeah,
So, like,
you just get comfortable with each other, and then age just goes out the window. Age hasn't been an issue all season at all. So we're all the same peer. All the teammates and I were all the same level, so we don't even look at each other in terms of ages. I may play like I'm older, but we don't talk as if I'm older.
Right. And it's interesting because when we came to see you play, you're like, I gotta go get on the bus for the pizza party. You know what I mean? Like, you're like, and then you texted me, they're like, they're really strict. I gotta get on the bus. And I'm like, but wait, you're like, you can not get on the bus if you want to, but you're like, they are strict with you. They're not giving you any leeway as far as treating you differently than any other member of the team. Like, you are part of the team, and you have to put the pedal to the metal, right? Like, you have to be at every practice.
2 years ago, that's the first thing the coach told me is, I'll give you an opportunity, but don't ever think that you get preferential treatment or special treatment because of your age. You're not getting it. So that's what I signed up for. So I get it.
Right. Now I'm just excited because we just uploaded some video clips of you playing. Do you want to play those now, or do you want to wait until we get your story first? What do you think?
You can play them now and play them later.
Which one? I think I want to play the one where everybody's like just rallying around you, and like you hit the ball and people are going nuts. I want to play that one right now.
Yeah, that is my first career hit.
Okay. That's your first career hit. And if you're here watching live, I see a lot of you are. Make sure to comment. Let me know you're here. If you have any questions for Jim, if you want to, like, say congrats, Jim, if you want to say anything to Jim, ask him any questions, feel free to post in the comments. We are watching and listening. So I'm going to show this one clip right now. And can you tell us when this clip is from, like where this clip is from?
Last weekend against Delco Community College.
Okay.
I came up with the bases loaded on this one.
The bases were loaded.
Yeah.
So the pressure was on.
And at my age, there is no pressure at my age.
But the bases were loaded. So, like, were you guys tied? Were you guys winning the game?
No,
like,
we were winning. We were winning pretty easily at that point.
So they're like, we'll put Jim out to.
Yeah, pretty much.
Now, did you get any runs off this? Or
yeah, 2 runs scored on this play.
Oh wow! Okay, let's play it. Let's go
3-8. Let's go, Jim. Let's go. Oh!
No way! Wow, they're like, somebody was like, no way. So our people were just, I mean, that's a lot of support that you're getting there. That's amazing.
Yeah, that's what makes it all. It really is. It's great how they support me, and they keep me going. They pick me up when I'm dragging, and just say, you can't give up. You're too deep into this. There's no turning back at this point. So
yeah. So let's get back to the beginning. I've known you were like a manager at you were the postmaster general, right? Like, not just a manager.
Up in Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania. Yeah.
Yeah. Next to Scranton, where, rail riders up here. Yeah, exactly. So you've been doing this for how long in the post office? What was the,
over 36 years.
36 years. And when did you get this idea, when you were about to retire, that like, this is something that came into your head? Like, was it just random, or have you been thinking about it for years?
I always thought about it, but about 4 years ago, it wouldn't go away. Mm-hmm. And then I started this journey 2 years ago, but I started preparing for it 4 years ago.
And how, like, what was the process of preparing for it? It was just in your mind, or did you tell people about it? Like,
no, I kept it quiet because I thought it was ridiculous. But then I decided, let me go play in an over 50 league and see, I haven't played in 20 years. Let me see how I do. Yeah. And I just started to really enjoy it. And then as I started telling people, it was mixed emotions. So the more people were negative about it, the more I decided I would do it.
Yeah. And I remember you calling me, and you were like, I have this idea and this is what I want to do, but everybody's like, not taking it seriously. And I'm like, but wait, like, why not? Like, why not? Like, let's do it.
Who cares if I fail? I mean, it doesn't matter if I fail. I mean,
right. Nobody's ever tried. Like, No, this is a one, like, this is something that nobody's ever done.
Right.
And so when you decided, I'm going to do this, I'm going to try it, did you go and like talk to this coach and say, yo, I want to do this? Or like, how did you approach the situation? Like when you went to the team?
So there were about 9 schools I contacted, and the irony is Saturday is sophomore day, and we're playing Luzerne Community College, which was the first school I went to, and went to night classes and was on their team, but they folded, so I had to give up on that. And then I went right down the Northeast Extension school after school, and no one would even bother giving me a tryout. And then when I got down to Montgomery County, he said, I'll give you a 3-week tryout in the fall of 22. And he goes, I'll let you know where you stand for the spring. And at the end of the fall, he said, come back in the spring. And then that was 2 years ago. And that's when it all started.
So did you guys have a talk about this, or he's just you had to talk. So he wasn't just like, come and try out, and if you make the team, great. Like, what was this talk like?
Well, I didn't want to waste my money on school if I wasn't going to make the team, because I just didn't feel like going to school if I wasn't going to play ball.
Right.
And he said, I really don't care how old you are. He goes, if you're good enough to play, that's all I care about, is if you can help this team. Your age doesn't mean anything to me. He's very blunt about it.
Right. And it's funny because I was watching him like talk to another player after the game, and the player came up and he's like, oh, coach, I have this other commitment and I can't make the game. And he's like, well, you're not playing that. Like, he doesn't seem like he's softy. He was just like, sorry, the rules. So It doesn't seem like he's giving you any special treatment from what I've seen.
Not at all. If anything, I think he gets on me more.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's get some comments here. Joanne. Hi, Joanne. She's very impressed. I know she was waiting to watch this. Matthew, the trainer's room must see you a lot. Is that true? Does the trainer's room see you a lot, Jim?
Last year I had my own little bed and table there, but this year I've been pretty fortunate. I've been injury free the entire year. Now last year, I was in there all the time.
But this year, wow, you actually, that's amazing. Let's see what Paula has to say. I am most impressed that you run. Last time I tried to run the bases without cleats, I pulled a groin muscle. That was the end of that. I was probably about 60 at the time. So how is let me ask you about the running. How's that like? How you doing with that?
I think the reason why I got hurt so much is I didn't understand my body at my age at that point. And I worked a lot in the off season. I learned what to do and what not to do, what to push, what not to push. And knock on wood, I think that's why I was injury free, is I learned from all my mistakes last year. I'm still as fast as these kids, but I did improve greatly in terms of the running department.
Now, you may not be as fast, but what I heard is that you can hit.
Yes, I could. You don't lose your hand-eye coordination no matter how old you are.
Well, let's look at a video of you hitting the ball, shall we?
Okay. Sure.
All right.
Yes! No way. Oh!
Wow. Like, that's no joke. Like, you hit it just as well as anybody else hits it.
Yeah, I thought it was over his head, but he played deep because I'm a bigger person, and I guess he thought I could hit it further.
Right. Yeah, exactly. So you're coming to the end of the 2 years, right? At this point?
I am, yes.
Yeah. How are you feeling about that? Are you like, I did this, I'm done, and I'm happy? Or are you like, I want more?
It's mixed emotions. Like, part of me wants to move on, but it's a lot of work. And I think I'm just going to take a break from it. I mean, there's, I really can't go beyond this, because it just gets better and better talent as you go into the 4-year programs. And, the reality is it's just, pushing 60 years old by then, it's not going to happen. But I think I'm good with the past 2 years, and it makes a nice memory. And I think I'm good. I'm good with it. I'm good at keeping it at what it is right now.
Yes. Are you like sad about it ending, or are you kind of like just happy that you leapt into your
dream? I'm sad, but it's bittersweet. I'm sad but relieved. Like, I so need a break. Come May, my body's wrecked. I mean, I'm burned. I could barely walk right now. And, by morning time, I'm back to normal. But by the end of the day, I'm like a cripple. I could barely walk or get around. But I have a whole new chapter in my life coming up. And I think I'm just looking forward to, a new part-time job, a new area I'm moving to. And I think I'm just looking forward to that. But, maybe a few months down the road, if I miss it that much, I'll work at it again and see if I can continue it. But right now, I'm just happy with this ending next week.
Awesome. Well, let's look at this part of your life. NBC News, right? You were on all the news channels. When did this start happening, and how did this happen? That the news stations got word of this, and then you were just like going and interviewing with the news, and they were coming to your games. Like, how did this happen?
Well, it started with the Philadelphia Inquirer caught wind of it, and they, I guess they didn't believe it, so they had to come out and see. And then when they wrote the story, the athletic director came to me and said that, it's just, I didn't understand. I didn't see it as a big deal, but she said there's 54 news channels that want to interview you. And I'm like, well, I have a lot of schoolwork to do. I don't have time for this. Yeah. So I did what I could do. And it was a little bit out of control, to be honest with you. But I mean, it was fun, but it was very draining. It was very mundane. It's the same thing over and over. But I didn't want to distract the team. Like I didn't want it to be about me. And I didn't like that they would focus on me and I would start talking about the other guys on the team. They didn't want to hear about that. Yeah. But it'll be nice to have those clips in the background 10 years, 20 years down the road. But it all started about like February of last year, it all started.
And did you ever think that you would have like national news stations calling you?
No. Well, my dad's like, oh, maybe you'll have a little article in the Bucks County Courier-Times one day. Meanwhile, I'm like, well, Dad, nobody buys a newspaper anymore. But, he thought maybe somebody would write a little article. I didn't realize the Washington Post and all this would. And once it goes viral like that, goes through the stream, then it just keeps going.
Yeah. And I mean, what would you say to people? Because obviously I deal with a lot of people in my industry as, helping people to move into their dreams and move through their stuck points and fulfill their purpose. And there's a lot of fear and people don't want to move out of their comfort zones a lot of time. Mm-hmm. And it's like, if people are watching you right now, they don't have an excuse that it's too late, you're too old, you don't have any energy. Like there's no excuse for people to not step into their dream at any age. Right. So what would you say to people who are really like inspired by what you did and really think that they just missed their window to fulfill their dream?
Well, I don't believe you ever miss your window, but the assistant coach, he doesn't remember telling me this, but when I was trying out, he said, there's one thing that's going to keep you from making this team and it's going to hold you back. And I said, well, what's that? And he said, that's you. He goes, that's you if you don't have the mindset. And I remember seeing a saying, and this is my favorite quote, is if you want to kill a big dream, just tell it to a small-minded person.
Wow. I'm going to put that on the Humble Gym plaque, the quote of the year. And I'm going to stamp that on this video. Like, yeah. Amazing. Matthew Mack. Oh, go ahead. Yeah.
You have to surround yourself with people who are going to support you because it's so easy to follow other people's advice.
Mm-hmm. And you're saying that like really 98% of the people in your circle, even close friends and family, did not support you.
Well, my family supported me because they knew I was crazy to begin with. But I was surprised at how other people were like, and it's not a bucket list thing. Everyone thought it was a bucket. It has nothing to do with a bucket list. I was just surprised that other people wouldn't support it. They're all on board now. I mean, because I guess they didn't think I would take it seriously. Maybe I didn't even take it seriously at first.
Well, you must have taken it seriously enough to do it, right?
Oh, I'm completely serious. I mean, I wanted to quit several times when I first started. It was embarrassing at first.
Why?
Because you're out there. I can't even understand the lingo these kids talk sometimes, and music and it was very overwhelming. Haven't played in 20, so rusty, haven't played in 20 years. And then, finally getting back into it, learning the game all over again. Cause the game's completely different than it was years ago.
Yeah.
It's just a much faster game. And but it was all about once they started embracing me and welcoming me to the team, that's when my confidence went up. I was really afraid of how am I going to be received. That's what it all came down to. If they're not receiving me as part of their team, then I'm out. And they love it. It's been a great ride for 2 years now with them. These kids, they call me Papa Jim. That's my name.
So you told me that like now the team is you're at the point where the team has taken you in, the coaches, but you say sometimes the fans don't have any clue that you're a player.
They do now. They do now. Because it's been 2 years, but it's the other team's parents that they don't, or the other team, they don't know, or the umps, or, they think I'm a coach for the most part.
Then what is the other, what's the craziest thing you've seen another team say or do when they saw you out there?
Well, when I got up last weekend and I was talking to the pitcher after the game, the one who gave up the hit, he starts laughing, and I'm yelling at him. He goes, "You're making me laugh. Stop laughing." So when I got the hit, he came up to me and said, "Listen, I really wish I wasn't the guy that gave up a hit against you." He goes, "I'm only 19." He goes, "But I'm really happy you got a hit." And he shook my hand.
Oh, well, that was nice.
Yeah, he was a good kid. Yeah.
Well, Matthew Magnus says, "I'm so impressed. My son plays college baseball, and I wonder how you pick up spin and recognize pitches, or do you just sit on a pitch?" I don't even know what this question says.
So,
yeah.
So I was just talking to my coach about that, and it's funny because I don't pick up spin. I guess fastball every time, and I don't get that many at bats, but I don't strike out, and the reason is my coach told me I don't understand why they don't throw you curveballs. These kids just want to blow you by with a fastball because of how your age. But that's my best pitch to hit. So I try to jump on the first pitch. I try to end this at bat as quickly as possible, and 80% of the time you're getting fastball first pitch. So I'm always first pitch looking fastball. When I get 2 strikes, then that's when I have to really recognize a curveball. But fortunately, I usually will hit the ball before I get to 2 strikes. So it's usually a fastball. I've been pretty fortunate not to get that many curveballs.
All right. So Matthew, I hope that answers your question. I don't know I don't know about sitting on pitches or picking up spins, but I'm assuming that's a thing people do. And it looks like you have the advantage in that, Jim. So amazing. Lori says, "You rock. You should be very proud of what you have accomplished." Paula's, "I love that." And Joanne, "What a great attitude you had going into this. Your dedication is impressive." So
thank you, everybody.
Yes. So what's next for you after May? What do you retired. Now you did the baseball, you went back to school, and now you're doing what?
Well, it's funny. People will say, "Well, what are you going to use your degree for?" I was like, it's just education. It's just learning. And I never thought I would use it for anything, but a company in Lake Harmony in the Poconos reached out to me, and they've been having a disconnect with somebody managing their college employees. So they said, "We have a boat rental business that we have at Boulder View Lake Club, and would you be interested in managing all the college and high school kids, because we see what you're doing?" And that's my dream job. And I start that May 18th. So this actually helped me get a job starting this month. Gosh, 2 weeks I start. Just a part-time seasonal job. Keep me busy for the summer.
Yeah, and I'll be coming up and getting on the boats.
Yeah. I got 80 boats. Take your pick.
Yeah, because you inspired me to go and get on the boat and drive the boat and go on the pontoons, and it's so relaxing. And now, did you think you were going to be doing a part-time job again, or did you think you're just going to be chilling in your retirement?
I really didn't know what I was going to do. I don't want to do nothing. I mean, I need purpose in life. I have a lot of projects to do to the houses and all that, but I like having a boss. I like being accountable to somebody else. I like that.
Yeah. And you've been in the military before, right? So you're a veteran. So you're used to some structure.
And the post office is a minor version of the military.
Yeah. Right. So you want something to kind of be accountable to.
Yeah, I like being told what to do. I'm good with it.
All right. And Lori says, congrats on the new job.
Thank you.
And happy to hear about the dream job, Jim. Congratulations and bless you in your new role. Yeah, Jim's not, I don't know. I've known Jim a really long time, And Jim is, and thank you for your service, Jim. I didn't say that. But yeah, I don't think that I know you to go to keep going into things. You know what I mean? You're not going to be stopping anytime soon. Who knows if, playing college baseball is the biggest thing you're going to do. I mean, who knows? It could get bigger.
Yeah. You probably don't even remember this, but you told me about 15 years ago, I was going to end up in a role of mentoring teenagers.
Wow.
You told me that a long time ago. I never forgot that. And I always felt that I had a knack for relating to them and dealing with their antics and their thought processes and all that. So maybe this will be it. Who knows?
And so you're going to be working with a lot of teenagers?
A lot of 18 to 25-year-olds. Yeah. It's
wow.
It'll go through October. It'll go probably full time through the summer and Labor Day, and then wrapping everything up in October, maybe even into November. So I think it's going to take about 4 months to do this.
All right. Well, can I start asking some weird questions, or are you good with the personal life questions?
You can ask anything you want. You got me.
So, did this, because I know you were single when you started this whole process, right?
God.
And we always talk about relationships and love, and we kind of go into that area of life. But did all this stuff that's happening, did it bring in the ladies more to be like, hey, you're playing college baseball, looking good?
It would bring them in, but when they see my schedule over the last 2 years, it would push them right back out the door.
Oh, really?
So
yeah.
For the last 2 years, other than Christmas break and then in the summer, I played in another league in the summer, but that didn't get in the way. But during the school year, I had no time for anything. And tomorrow morning, I'm on a 2.5-hour bus ride. We get back tomorrow night late, and then Saturday morning, I've got a doubleheader. My weekends booked up. So it was nice meeting everybody, but until this is over, nothing can sustain itself, because you have to be completely committed. And I told my family, I need to be selfish for 2 years. And then when this is over, then I'll address everyone's concerns after that. But for the next 2 years, There's things I can't do. And everybody understood how serious I was about this.
And you're like a grandfather of 9.
You still have schoolwork to do too. Everyone forgets that.
Yeah, you have homework, just like my 11-year-old. You have homework. Yeah.
Every
I was
day.
talking to you the other day, and you're like, can you hang out? And you're like, I got homework. I'm like, you have homework to do? You're like, yeah, I have homework to do. And you're like, and I have to be on the bus by this time, and they're really strict. I'm like, really? You should be able to just get off the bus and not do the homework. You're like, no, I got to do what they're telling me to do.
Yes.
So you didn't even have time for love.
No. Mm-mm.
Do you have time for it now?
As of May 6th, I do. Because Monday I have a doubleheader Monday, and then we're done.
Okay. And so maybe you'll be taking some ladies out on some boat rides this summer.
It would be nice to meet somebody up there. I'll be living up there from now on, so we'll see.
All right. Well, we're going to bring Jim into our Momentum community, and this is our free community of people looking to step into their purpose. And Jim will be we have the men are in the minority here, but if you're looking to manifest and step into your purpose, the link is below the video. And Jim will be in the group. So if you want to meet Jim and connect with Jim and maybe date Jim, you have the opportunity. We'll bring you on the show, and then I could psychically decide if it's the right fit.
Yes, beware.
Although you haven't listened to me in the past really about that anyway.
I know. One of these days I will.
Joanne says, this is what happens when you put yourself out there. More great things are coming. Yeah.
Okay.
Totally.
Yeah. Maybe this will open a door to another career. Who knows?
See, Paula's in the group. She's saying, you got to come in and say hi to everybody. So we'll have to get you. I'm going to send you a link, and you're going to come in and hang out with us.
Oh, that sounds good. I'd love to.
Yeah. So any other things that, you might be able to say to anyone out there who thinks, well, this guy could do it because he's crazy and he's, he'll do it, but I don't think I can. What would you say to somebody that thinks that you can do it and they're happy for you, but they don't think they can do it?
Well, I think the reason why I thought about doing this a few years ago and I wasn't ready. So you have to be mentally ready. and I wasn't ready 4 years ago. I wanted to jump right into it, and I realized that I wasn't ready. You have to really have a mindset to do this, and know that you're going to fail. You're going to fail miserably at times, and you just have to not really be concerned with, like I say, don't let anybody rent space in your mind. So, as long as you don't let anybody get in your head, and you just have that mindset. And it was easy because I realized, well, wait a minute, who really cares? Nobody else is doing it. I'm not competing with anybody.
No.
I'm just competing with myself. So that's it. That was my biggest worst enemy was myself.
Right. And I think that's with everybody.
Yeah.
And anybody that's going to give you advice isn't really ever going to do it for themselves anyway. It's like they're not in your shoes, and they're not ever going to do that. So like, how would, of course they're going to tell you it's crazy.
Yeah.
But that's amazing. And I'm so glad that you came on today and that you shared your story with us. And I'm going to just bring up one more little photo here. He proved them all wrong. And that's the story I'm bringing to you today, is that no dream is impossible. And that's what we talk about in Momentum. And like I said, we're looking for a new name for the podcast. Used to be The Lounge. What do you like, Jim? Do you want to keep it The Lounge with Marisa? Do you want to have Momentum, the podcast, or the Dream Lab? What are you thinking?
I like Momentum because it's like an energy. It just keeps pushing forward. The Lounge to me is too lazy.
Okay. Yeah. So that's a good point. If you're pursuing your dream, you're taking leaps. You're not sitting in the lounge.
Right. Yes. Momentum is a good word. Yep.
So Momentum with Marisa, or just Momentum, the podcast?
Momentum with Marisa. You have to identify yourself. Yeah.
All right. Or Momentum Mastery, but that could be like a course. Momentum with Marisa is good, right? The podcast.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. Well, if anybody else wants to chime in on that, we're doing that. And yes, we are doing in the community. I forgot about this. I promised this before I go today. In the community. And you know what? I think I'm going to bring Jim into this. Jim, I'm going to bring you into this. I didn't even ask you if it was okay.
That's fine.
So
I just follow your lead.
Okay. So this is what came to me. I was channeled into me at this point. So because we just hit 100 members in our new community, I am going to do a prize for the top 5 people on the leaderboard. So Jim, you competed to get to where you were. Top 5 people on the leaderboard, meaning that when you come into the community, you got to post some inspirational stuff. You got to comment. You got to get involved. And at the end of May 31st, we will pick the 5 winners for tea time with Marisa. We're all going to get on a Zoom. We're all going to nail down what your next step is. And Jim is going to be in there to motivate us. He's going to be in as the coach. And if anybody wants to date Jim, you better, you could come in and fight for a date with Jim too. So Jim will be there. You can meet Jim personally. You can talk to him, and we will talk about your dreams and goals. And we will, and if you're going to be in there negative, we're going to say no. We're going to set you straight, and we're going to start you on the path to your dream. All right. So come into Momentum. If you're not in there with us now, you have 30 days to complete the challenge. Everybody is welcome, and it starts now. So you're starting at 0, and you can fill those bases up and get some home runs yourself. So just go into the description of this video, join the free group, and that's what I'm doing. That's the prize. The prize is going to be Humble Jim. He's going to be with us, and top 5 people are coming into tea time with Marisa, because coffee, I'm too off the wall. And we're going to sit down. We're going to talk about everybody's goals, and we're going to get you started. That's what we're doing. That's the prize. I just came up with it. What do you think, Jim?
I like it. I like it a lot.
But people have to compete. They got to be on the leaderboard. They got to compete.
They will. Hey, as long as you have something to something tangible to attain, like a prize, and you'll get it. All
right. Well, Joanne is saying I love Momentum. Okay, cool.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. I'll be there. Lori, I'll be there. All right. So right now, though, we have some leaderboard members on here that are in the lounge today. I know for sure that Lori Darling's on the leaderboard. She's gathering points. I know for sure that Paula is high on the leaderboard. I know that's definitely true. I don't think Matthew Magd is in there. I know that Michael Ruff is in there, but I haven't heard from him in a while. Let's see who else is on here today. Joe Fox, I don't think he's in our group, but he could get in the leaderboard. I don't know what he's holding there in that thing. But hi, Joe. Good to see you. All right. So if you want to beat out Joanne and Paula and Lori, you got to start earning points now, or else they're coming to tea time with Jim. So, and we're talking about their goals. So, yeah, awesome. Well, thanks, Jim, for coming. I'm going to put a little bit of music on for you to go out with. What do you think? Some dance pop, Feeding the Ducks, Into Space, rock. What do you want to go out with?
Oh, you pick it. I'm good with anything.
Feeding the Ducks. Let's do that.
Sounds good.
Yeah. This is Jim creeping up on you. You don't know he's coming, but he's coming. He's going to hit that ball. All right, guys. Thanks for coming to the old lounge, the Lazy Lounge. Now we're Momentum with Marisa. And join us. Meet Jim. Have tea time. We'll discuss your goals. We'll see you soon. See you later. Bye-bye.
Take care. Thank you.